What's up? Journey of a New Entrepreneur, NBZ, Rob Anderson, Clean Power Wash, Salisbury, Maryland. This is proof that I own more than red shirts. I'm looking for a couple people to jump on here, so I'm trying to get signed into my actual computer. What we got on here? Oh, continue, sorry. So I actually had a call with Brandon. Saw his post up there. Wanted to get what's going on. Josh, what's going on? Don, Mike. Okay, cool. I think I saw Mr. MBZ right there. Is that you, Bobby Walker? I see some bright yellow, so that's usually you. Anyways, Brandon posted that post has got a lot of good responses and whatnot on it about getting 36 Facebook requests, about getting all those Google requests and whatnot. Okay, so David, that you're the yellow guy. Bill Blair, what's going on, Joe? What do you do? Well, the problem I see with a lot of times we get these questions up there, and it's hard to put all the details and all the information on there right from the start. Like, you also don't want to write an encyclopedia or a full-on essay to kind of give everybody the background story. So I reached out to him and was like, hey, what's your actual situation? You got 36 leads from Facebook and you have 5 trucks, you have 1 truck, you have 2 trucks. Makes a big difference on how you answer that question. What's your previous experience? What do you have established in business? Those are all things that you need to look at. Somebody, and I don't know who it was, and I'm going to pick on you for a moment though, but saying that solo entrepreneurs should only be getting advice from people who are only, one man in a truck, and people who have 2 rigs should only be talking to people who have 2 rigs. No, you need to be talking to the people who are in the position where you want to be, or where the demand on your business is going to push you to be. Don't be limited just because I don't want the headaches of employees and this and that, because employees suck. I hear everybody complaining about them, because ultimately, if your employees are not making you money, you need to fire them. You should always be making more than enough money to account for and cover the headaches that they cause. Obviously, you can't let them impact the overall reputation that you've built up, and it will happen in some ways. But in talking to Brandon and just kind of getting a little bit of background, he's been in business for a little bit. He's got previous experience with Holiday Lights, property management, or not management, but rehab kind of work, and with power washing, running 1 crew. And obviously with the demand that he's got, some good things are moving in the right direction. When you've got that many leads coming in, first and foremost, if you've got the cash, set up a second truck, get more people in play. 36 estimates. Granted, it's April. It is the busy time. As we discussed, like, he shouldn't go out and, call up powerwashstore, or whatever, or any other vendor and say, hey, I need 4 drop-in skids. We're getting 50 estimates a day. It's not going to be sustainable. You're going to need to bring in more people, and it's hard for a company to grow that rapidly. Even going from 1 truck to 3 trucks is going to be a challenge. And guys, by all means, chime in here if you got questions or whatever else, and I'll try and help explain stuff too. So get that second truck. It's easy to, throw together a couple machines. Depending on what you're doing, you can just go basic downstreaming, have a backup rig. I always tell people, if you're going to be hiring, hire 2 people, not 1. Because it takes only a little bit of extra effort to train 2 people versus 1 person. I just got a Facebook lead request here. First job is small. And hold on. Sure thing. We're going to send that message. Literally just got one that says, I'm interested. Can you tell me more? I want to know pricing. I always respond to them right away. Absolutely. What's the address and what would you like to have cleaned? Once she responds to that, I'm going to ask her, hey, what's a good contact number and email address? We'll get you scheduled for an estimate tomorrow. We'll get you taken care of. That's our process for Facebook. And we're spending about 20, 25 bucks a day and pulling 4 to 5 leads every day for it. I'm going to double that pretty quickly because it's just producing leads like crazy. So a couple things, depending on where you're at now. Brandon is in Long Island. I'm on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. It is going to be different based off your clientele. But don't think that, somebody requests an estimate on Facebook, they're price shopping you right away. Quite frankly, they're not. And depending on how you're generating that lead, the people that are seeing this right now that are getting mine are people that are seeing our stuff, have seen us stuff over and over and over and over again. They're like, hey, I trust that Rob guy. I want him to clean our house. Let's get a quote. Sweet, they want a house and walkway. Awesome. For this person. So once you get these people getting those requests, you need to communicate a reasonable time frame for when you can get these estimates done. And so if you're slammed, if you got 50 estimate requests in one day, or if you got 20, it's kind of hard to get 20 done in a day unless you're doing them all on Google Earth. And there's going to be upsides and downsides to it. Ultimately, if you got a salesperson going out to those job sites, you should be able to both close at a higher percentage, B, price out more things so you're closing a higher average ticket, and 3, just being seen going to all those spots, you're going to get a few more walk-ups. Absolutely. Mike, the people, if you're doing Facebook the right way when they request it, if you're not just trying to ask, get that sale right away, when people find you and have gotten to that point, and Michael, I know that you post a ton too. You do a similar process that I do. They already know, I like that Low guy. He's pretty cool. I like what he does. I trust his services. He's doing a great job. They're really just looking, is this price ridiculous? Or is this, sounds good. I mean, I trust him. He's the expert. He knows how to price it. All right, so back to getting so many estimates. If you get 20 plus estimates in a day, and you don't have a sales staff, you need to communicate to these people and kind of attack it tactically. One, hey, Miss Johnson, it looks like you're over in whatever town 20 minutes away. I'm going to be over there on Tuesday. Just want to let you know I'll be over there. Get you your estimate then. Hey, ma'am, we are super busy right now. We want to take care of you. Absolutely. We're probably looking at Wednesday or Thursday, and I'll get you that estimate. Promise. And if you got to say, hey, you know what? I know it's going to take a couple days. We love to get all of our estimates done in 24 to 48 hours. I'm going to go ahead and throw a $25 discount on there just because it's going to take me a little bit longer. But I want you to know that we really do care about that. Cool thing with Brandon and talking to him, and I hope it was Brandon, not Bernard or something like that, is that he also does Christmas lights. Anybody who does Christmas lights knows that once you get to a certain amount of estimates coming in a day, if you got 2 or 3, you can't be picky. If you get 20 estimates coming in a day, you say, hey, ma'am, right now in that area, kind of our minimum is $500 for over there. Okay, good. You're good with that? Cool. We'll get over there. We'll check it all out, get you an actual quote and whatnot. If they say, oh, my goodness, 500 is crazy. Cool. Write their information down, save it for later. Hey, ma'am, what we'll do is we'll pull this up and just see if we can do any better than that. But you're going to put them at the bottom of the list. The people that call in and whoever is answering the phone, whether it's you, whether it's office staff, should be able to gauge these people. You should have a good idea if you've been in business for more than 5 minutes of which neighborhoods, which developments, to say, hey, I'm on McClellan Terrace, not Terraced. I'm over here and I know right away that's a decent neighborhood. It's close to me. I can literally get over there in about 3 minutes from my house. We're doing a just shy of $1,500 job there on Friday for one of our holiday lighting customers. So that's kind of how you set expectations. And obviously, depending on where you're at, he's in Long Island. Stereotyping those clients, New Yorkers and stuff, are going to tend to be a little bit more of a boom, boom, boom. I want that price now. Let's go. Let's get it done. And some of those, if you get just straight up in the weeds and Sorry, my kids are being loud right now. My wife's having to yell at them. But, you know, ma'am, here's a price. We've pulled it up on Google Earth. This is what we're looking at. And it's also good before you start your route for the day, look at the far away ones. If you've got most of them are clustered right around here and you've got one out here, look at it and say, okay, that one's $350 or that looks like a $700 job. Go ahead and send that over to them. And if they bite, great. You could upsell the rest of it. I don't like to do a whole lot of upsells. I like to give everybody the prices for everything we offer right from the get-go. You know, the basically $1,500 one we have on Friday requested the concrete sidewalks around their house and their pool apron. Well, they got a nice little walkway and a dock. That was another basically $900. Not going out there, that's not something I'm going to see from Google Earth, or at least be able to get a good idea of it and give an accurate price. Going out there, going out on site should cover the cost of going out to those. I know that this is not I'm not gonna say not popular, but I don't see anybody else doing this. If you don't have a salesperson, but you want to be able to get more sales done, hire a driver. Yes, let that sink in for a moment. And people at first are like, that's ridiculous, Rob. I can't believe that. Now you're doubling your cost to drive around town. I'm not. And here's why. By having a driver, I can get done 20 to 50% more estimates because that person, I just say, here's the address. They go, boom, get there. If the customer is not home when I give these estimates, which quite frankly, a lot of them are not, I can walk around, look at it, write it down on the estimate sheet, take the picture of it. I leave the estimate sheet there for the client, and we're off. We're out of the property right away. I can be looking at my phone. I can be responding to Facebook messages right away. I can be, getting all these other things done. I can be following up, working on additional pictures, being more productive. Let's just say that you pay that person 8 hours. It's $96. As an owner, and especially as an owner-operator, you should be able to sell $1,000 a day, right? And that would be, and that's at a minimum. This time of year, you should be selling $2,000 to $4,000 a day, getting that on the schedule. And especially in Brandon's situation, with that many leads, if you've got 36 leads, you've got to be able to close at least 8, 10, probably, quite frankly, should be closing about 20 of them. Let's just say it's a $500 average. That's 10 grand. I mean, you're not going to spend, if you got a salesman and you're paying him 10% commission, $1,000 versus you went out, sold it. They've already decided that they like you, trust you, and want to buy from you. You paid somebody $100. The same gas was going to be spent. You got more estimates done. You got caught up faster. And quite frankly, if you're paying commission, I just save $900 by not having a salesperson go do that. And that salesperson wouldn't have been able to get as much done because they didn't have a driver. So that's a quick way to do it. You can also prioritize some of this. Now, 30 plus estimates in a day is crazy. You're going to have a hard time trying to do that. Yeah, thanks, Jeff. It's crazy. People are like, that's ridiculous, Rob. You have a driver. It's safer. Let's be honest. All of us are on our phone the whole friggin' time. Let me do this here. Great. I love the predictive text. It literally just sends the auto response, whatever there. If you don't have 20 estimate requests a day, if you're trying to struggle through some of it, if you're getting 5 to 10 estimates a day, you can prioritize that. So let's just say, usually over the weekend you get a good bit of calls, and especially Monday you get a good bit of calls. So plan on running estimates on Monday. Tuesday you're out washing. Wednesday, Thursday, and you can figure this out depending on where you're at. You also want to make sure that you're strategic in where you're targeting or where you're going to do these estimates. I try and schedule if they're estimates that are further away. One, we're going to try and do them from Google Earth. But two, we're going to schedule those out. Like any requests that I have that are 30+ minute drive away, I'm going to schedule those for Tuesday or Wednesday. The reason being that I'm going to knock out 15 estimates within 20 minutes of my house tomorrow. I love this. Love it. Again, guys, in the process of this, again, we're spending $20 a day. If you can average leads for less than $20 a day, if you can get them for 10 or $5 a day, it's fantastic. But so schedule those accordingly so you can be efficient. Also, hold on. Let me see if I can invite Brandon because he's calling me right now. But yeah, start further away. So if you got a bunch of estimates right here and you got like 3 out here, don't knock these ones out and go over there. Knock these ones out first and then get close to home base. The reason being that if you go ahead and knock those out, they're done. And these ones, you come back and, yeah, hey, Brendan, of course. I knew I was messing it up. Let's see if I can add you on here. No, whatever. All right, I'm going to continue. Brendan, catch up on this. We've been talking about you a little bit. All good news, but so again, prioritizing routes, figuring out which ones you can delay, and also sometimes, guys, you have to figure out how far away those jobs are worth it for you. When you start to get crazy busy, you should be tightening up your area. I was kicking myself on Thursday and Friday. We were doing a bunch of estimates, and they just ended up being like way outside of here. And so we're doing these estimates, and I'm driving out to them, and there were so many that I probably could have gotten done locally had I been focused on that. And then communicating with these people. Like, people want to get that estimate right there. Yeah, Candace. Guys, for those of you who know me from Clean Power Wash, or youtube.com/Clean Power Wash, this is actually my 3rd season full-time. First season full-time, we were at 370 something and change. Last year we finished a little over 540. This year my goal was to do 500 in washing and 250 in lights. We'll see with all this COVID stuff. We're being more profitable right now. A little bit slower on the overall volume of jobs, but last week we also did our biggest single residential job at a little over $6,500. Crazy. And we picked up their neighbor on like a $1,400 roof wash or whatever. But I did a lot of that stuff via Google Earth. Like if you can do nothing else but be responsible or be responsive. The only thing that I'll say with Christmas lights and accuracy is we've all gone to those ones on Google Earth and you're like, oh, look, here's the tree. It's only about 10 feet tall. And then you get out to it and you're like, oh my goodness, that tree's 35 feet tall now. So check the dates on there. Make sure that stuff's right. And you can even sometimes send them a picture of it and say, hey, is this your house? Just want to make sure. Want to kind of switch a little bit on here to Facebook. There was a comment, and I see a lot of people that'll believe this, that Facebook doesn't work in my area. People don't respond to pictures. People don't, and Robert, this is not. I know you and I were talking back and forth about it on there, but this is an overall general. I want to pick a point with people that say that Facebook doesn't work in their market. Number one, is there internet in your market? Yes. Okay, cool. Facebook's going to work there. Number two, is Facebook there? Yes. Okay, it's going to work. Didn't hear Google Earth kiss. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Brendan. Anybody who says that Facebook doesn't work in their market is not using it properly. And I want to give kudos to Brendan. And there's a lot of things, and eventually I'll make a course on all this or whatever and sell it for who knows what. But there's a lot of different ways that you can be successful with social media marketing. Brendan's way And it's kind of cool because I looked at his page. He's got in the high 300s on the likes right now. Yeah, it's awesome, Candace. When you're growing initially, like it's it's so easy one to double, but as you said, 300% up there, and doing so much additional market. What's going on, Phil? We got some windy weather tomorrow, and I'm not looking forward to that. Um, but Facebook marketing. So a lot of what Brendan's doing, he's spending a good bit of money on his marketing, which is where that stuff's coming in. Got to be able to spend money to make money. He's spending on Google, he's spending on Facebook. The nice thing with both of those methods is it's very easy to pivot. Your marketing isn't working there, people aren't responding to that, kill that post, stop spending money on that, throw more money somewhere else. Yeah, and guys, you should be all over social right now. What Brendan's done is he's done a lot of what's going to be kind of boots on the ground, but a lot of it is manually sharing to all the different, he said, the different mom groups in his market. Join all those groups. It's a great way to do it. I personally don't, just because I have not implemented that system and done a good job of making my office people do it, because it's free money. You get into 30 groups, you divide it up into these 5 groups are Monday, these 5 groups are Tuesday, these 5 groups are Wednesday, and go in there and, at 9 o'clock, you set a reminder on the calendar for your office person to share that post to that page, and occasionally comment other non-salesy posts. What I'd encourage Brendan and everybody else to do is you want to get attention in those other groups. But what I looked at when I saw a lot of his posts, very few of them had a ton of likes on them. That means that if he's generating that many leads, he's getting a lot of activity and a lot of action on the shared post, not on the original one, which means people are liking the ad that's over here, but they're not coming back home to see you, to see your main business. They're just seeing the billboard and calling that, but they're not becoming true fans of your business right there. That's why we really don't share our stuff much. I'll share a couple posts to my page, and I've got a couple other things that I manage, and I'll share over there. But we get... and you know what, dude? You got to roll with the punches. MTH says, been banned by some private groups after playground cleaning received an email stating I was deceitfully advertising my business. People like that suck. Whatever. Do what you do. And if you are going to do the playground cleanings, do me the hashtag random acts of cleaning kindness. I really appreciate that. Yeah. But it's difficult too with the scaling of the Christmas lights. And I think it's a lot easier for, like, in our situation, we just move, and this year we'll have 2 Christmas light crews and 1 crew that'll stay washing during that time frame. But it's easy to kind of move stuff there. Yeah, exactly, man. There's always going to be Debbie Downers everywhere. But everything that we do, we're boosting posts right now. We've got, I think, 6 or 7 right now that are spending about $20 to $25 a day right now, total between all the posts. We're racking up about 4,000 to 5,000 reaches or impressions per day for that $20 to $22. All those are coming directly to our page. We're getting the likes on those posts. They're seeing that social proof of those likes, and we're adding more people. Anybody who likes it, Facebook literally says, hey, Rob Anderson just liked your post. Invite him to like your page so you can see more of what you're doing. And that's what we do all day long, all year round. When it's January and February and it's cold, people don't want to go outside, we're doing that because it continues to get people to pay more and more attention, because ultimately, I don't know if Candace's house is dirty right now. It probably is because she's too busy washing, right? But when Candace is finally ready to get that done, when, life is settled down a little bit, and you know what, honey, our house is really, really green. She's now seen so many posts from me that she's like, honey, we're going to call Rob Anderson. We're going to go ahead and get this done. And he's the guy, I see him all over Facebook. It's crazy. Like, I go anywhere, and I'm usually wearing my clean power wash gear anyways. But I get people that will just say, "Hey man, I saw you. You were on Delmarva Life. We see you all over. I see you all over Facebook, all over." And the market's going to depend on that too. You know, the bigger the market, the more people that are spending, but also the more eyeballs. So it's going to kind of even out a little bit there. Um, but yeah, definitely invite those people to like your page, because then that increases your organic reach. I can throw up pretty much anything and get about 200 to 300 views on any given post. And that's within like the first 6 to 8 hours. You know, if it's a good post, and after you get used to this, you'll get more views, you'll get more likes, you'll get more hearts on those. And some of them, you see the ones that are taken off, throw money behind them. You throw the ones that are just the random, you know, I posted my youngest Seth, he threw on one of my Clean Power Wash shirts and tried to do his version of what I say. So just threw that up there. Um, it should take a while for somebody to scroll through the past month, 2, 3 months of posts that you've got up there. Candace, kudos, shout out. You are doing fantastic, at least from what you're saying on there, with the number of posts that you're putting up a day. The more posts you're putting up, the more times people are going to see your content. And it doesn't mean that, you know, every time Bobby Walker goes in here, that the same people see it every single time, or that if there's 1,000 people in here, however many people are in the crew, that, you know, the same 50 people see it right away. No, Facebook's going to look at it and say, you know, Candace, she responds every time Bobby posts something because she's got to give him some crap. So Candace always gets a notification. Brendan, maybe he gets a couple of times every third post that Bobby or somebody going live in the group gets, they jump on that and see it. The idea is to continue to post enough stuff so that your loyal fans continue to see it. And B, it's going to fluctuate between all those other people. They're going to see it periodically. They're going to go through the different groups to see, okay, Facebook says, hey, Rob Anderson likes this group. We haven't done a push notification to him. They're not doing a push notification to 1,000 people. Like we would all shut off Facebook if it was doing that. But it's going to do a little bit more organic. Again, Robert, this is not trying to be mean, but look at your page. And I was looking at somebody else's the other day too that was saying that Facebook didn't work. And every single post was a, hey, give us a call. Hey, we've got washing. Give us a call. Hey, give us a call. Give us a call. Give us a call. Want $50 off? Want $25 off? Want a free driver? Want this? Want this? Want this? Like, oh my goodness. You're like, dude, shut up. You've asked me enough times if I get that. Like, nobody's watching a video for a power washing company thinking, oh, I wonder what they do. If I need power washing, should I call them? Yes. When we do a video, I will usually say in the actual video at the end of it, hey folks, we're out here cleaning this house today. It's the perfect time to call. Give us a call today. Here's our phone number. Call us. We'd love to get you an estimate. If they've already watched that, yeah. But post what you're doing. We're blessed to be in an industry that has great before and afters. It has great content, lots of stuff for people to interact with. People just love seeing stuff go from dirty to clean. It's fun. Showcase what you do. Make yourself likable. Rinse and repeat over and over and over and over again. The person that and I'm not sure who it was that had just ask after ask after ask after ask on it. I looked back and 1 out of my last 11 posts had an ask on it that was actively saying, give us a call. Now the 12th post was also an ask, so you can say 1 out of every 6 or 1 out of every 11. I didn't go much beyond that. But you should be constantly providing value, content, engaging reasons for people to pay attention to your page, and then be throwing in those occasional asks. Jab, 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 right hook. That's Gary Vaynerchuk reference for those of you who didn't get it. You should check that out. Yeah, guys. Again, Facebook will work. You need to be on social. And the beauty of my process versus what I saw with Brendan and what a lot of people do is where they'll share it to all those different groups. Those people aren't finding their way back and growing that overall audience. The more social proof, the more activity you get on your posts, on your own page, the more people that will like it. And it's, what's a good number of people to have like my page? More. More is always the answer. If you have 10,000 people that like your page, go for more. Go for 15,000. Go for 20,000. If you got 200, you want 300, you want 500, you want 1,000. We crossed 2,000 either right about December or early January. I think last year we added like 700 likes. And that's also on top of what we did on our Christmas lights page, which we took that from like 200, 250 likes to a little over 1,100 now. Candace, I have Michael Grigory. And we'll just do a real quick shout out. Guys, and this is not going to be for everybody. I've been in the Conquer program, and I was in a different coaching program, Breakthrough Academy, before I found out about Conquer. And I found out that a bunch of my buddies were already in Conquer. A lot of people, a lot of the successful power washers were already in there, and didn't bother to tell me about that it was going on. But if you're in business and you're doing over 200 grand a year, I would, or at least hope to do that this year, that's when I would start looking at that. I realized that after I got to 375 plus and going on that 500 to $1 million path, that I wasn't going to be able to do it all by the strong shoulders of Rob Anderson. I knew I was going to need some more. Only I've seen one sign on one pole between two states. Yeah. Sorry. Check it out. It's $750 a month. It is not cheap, guys. The value is there. The accountability there is there. If you're not doing 200 and you want to stay at $150,000 range, by all means, keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, shout out to my coach. He is good. We got a pretty good group too. But yeah, Conquer's been great. Guys, make sure that you're responding to all these estimates. Make sure you're getting the stuff out. And worst case scenario, again, if you don't get to them, let them know each day. Hey, sorry, Miss Jones. We were hoping to get out to you. Unfortunately, we just got slammed with our calls. And I will be by on such date. And if it gets to a certain point, you figure out a way to make it worth it. Even if you're giving them that $25 discount and your price will end up $25 beforehand, you can do that too. So, yes, Candace, completely. Brandon, Michael is actively trying to get me to pay more attention to my numbers. I've always done a good job of paying attention to my sales and my marketing numbers, and the expenses side and budget and P&L is not my strong suit. I do have Mr. Plata is helping me work on that. Being able to get, I've had a good bookkeeper, I've had a good accountant, but I haven't been able to get okay, here's my numbers, now what do I do? The other huge aspect of the Conquer program would be the overall access to documents and resources. So much of the HR stuff, if you're going to develop that as a brand new company, or as a solo or two truck company going into 3, 4, 5 trucks, you've got to have more HR stuff in place. Just covering you with unemployment, different things, just making sure that somebody doesn't get hurt on the job for being an idiot and not using the stabilizer, and saying, well, no, we've covered this 100 times. Everybody has these stabilizers. Yeah, because the reason why I do boosts instead of ads is exactly what Ryan just said. It's just easier. And people that say, oh, boosts are bad, they're an idiot. A boost is an ad with an engagement awareness objective. You can do the same audience targeting. You should be doing so many more things than what I'm doing on Facebook marketing. But I also did spend basically $6,000 last year and turned it into just shy of 200,000 without having ClickFunnels, without having retargeting, without sharing it to a lot of groups. Now, if I shared it to a bunch of groups, if I ran retargeting, if I had a click funnel or whatever, all that stuff, maybe that's 300 or 400,000. I mean, I'm not disappointed with what I've got there. What is that doing? LinkedIn's telling me it's crashing. Great. And guys, sorry, real quick on LinkedIn, you guys should be posting to other social media platforms. Don't just get obsessed with Facebook. Build your profile on those different levels. Get things there. So, battery is at 18%. A couple more questions, and then I'm gonna call it a night. Any more questions? Guys, and for more stuff on the Facebook marketing and just general sales and advertising and stuff, youtube.com/clean power wash. Once you're on there, search for our Facebook and sales and marketing playlist. Got over 100 videos on there. There's not anything that's super complex. We literally target an area and an age range. I don't get into interests. I don't get into anything else. Literally, I want people that are 34 to 64. You can set it to 65 plus if you want to. There's really not anything magical about that. And you set your service area. I would recommend that you set your service area a little bit smaller than your actual willingness to drive, because you will get stuff, if right here is your marketing area, you're probably going to get a little bit outside of that is where some of those Facebook things are going to come through. So, all right, y'all, I'm going to drop, and then I will probably throw this up onto the YouTube channel later on. So, yeah.